we're going to do a workout for your hips today. So let's just start by warming them up. We're going to do some side kicks. We're going to just keep that leg parallel with the other one. Kicking out, I'll just turn the other side so you can see what I'm doing. And then onto the other leg. Out to the side, keeping the back as upright as you can. I'm just doing 8 on one side and hopefully 8 on the other, although you'll know that I'm absolutely rubbish at counting. And then we're going to go into front and back. So we're going to just come into a single knee fold and then sweep that leg back. So we're practicing hip flexion and then hip extension. You're trying to get that knee to go behind the other knee. So you can see there's a gap between my knees. And then we're going to swap sides. Just a little warm up to get us started. That's it. So I'm trying not to use my back, and what I mean by that is that you might see some people sort of swaying backwards and forwards in order to try and get that mobility, but we want all of the movement to come from your hip. Let's take this down to the floor. I'm going to grab my cushion, my head cushion, and we're going to go into a double knee fold. So I'd always start people off with a double or a single knee fold, then a double knee fold, and then toe taps. So if you already know what you're doing, I'd go straight to toe taps. But here's your double knee fold. You're going to come into a single knee fold, and then you're going to come into a double knee fold. You're going to hold it there and then send that first leg down, followed by the second leg. We're breathing out to lift the first leg. Keep breathing out to lift the second. Breathe in at the top and then breathe out to send the first leg down, and keep breathing out to send the second leg down. Try and start with a new leg so that you're not always starting on your dominant side. So we're breathing out. Keep breathing out. Breathe in at the top and then breathe out to send the first leg down. Keep breathing out to send the second leg down. So that is your double knee fold. And you'll notice that I am just focusing on the movement in the hip and keeping that same angle at the back of the knee. Let's go into toe taps. So we'll come up into a double knee fold. So this is a progression to your double knee fold. Toes are touching, knees are hip distance apart, and I'm focusing again just on this angle here. So I'm just going to send that thigh bone away, and then I'm going to pull it back in. We're breathing out to send it away, and we're breathing in to pull it back in. Now, although this is called toe taps, it is not important whether you touch the floor. It's important that you listen to your back and only take that thigh bone away as far as it will go without disturbing the spine. So if you start to feel like your spine is lifting off the floor, then you need to reduce the movement that you're making. So if you can just, if you feel like your back's coming off and you, then just don't go for the floor and just bring your leg back. Sorry, I can't articulate myself this morning. Okay, last one. And then from here, we're going to go into your knee circle. So bring your both feet down one by one, come into a knee circle, come into a single knee fold. And if you want, you can drop this lower part of the leg down or keep it up. We're going to do 6 circles in one direction. And I would just breathe through this naturally. Now we want to make sure that all of the movement is coming from your hip and you're not using your back. So it's important that this other side is nice and stable. Let's reverse the circle. If you find that your other knee is wobbling around a lot, then you need to reduce the circle that you're making with your other knee. Because we need this to all happen in the hip and not the back. And I think that's your last one. So then swap legs, come into your single knee fold and start to stir. So hopefully at this angle you can see that this leg is fairly still, or as still as I can make it. It's always a work in progress. But if I have quite a lot of hip restriction, then what tends to happen is that the person starts to use their back. They kind of wobble from side to side, and then consequently you would see this leg wobble. So whenever I'm in class, I'm actually always watching this other leg. We're going to stir in the opposite direction now. Another 6 circles. 4, 5, and 6. We'll go into a knee drop. So knee drop is just purely dropping the knee out to the side and then pulling it back in. We're breathing out to drop it to the side. We're breathing in to pull it back in. And you will find that you're rolling to the outer border of your foot. And I'm trying to keep my trunk nice and stable. So again, I'm trying not to affect my back. I'm just trying to do this horizontal abduction in the hip joint and avoid using the back to help me open that leg. Let's do one more on each side. And then from there we're going to go into side lying. So we'll come on to our sides. I always say start in your pencil position, meaning you want to be in a good kind of standing position, but on your side. Your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked. Swivel on those hips to bring your knees towards your chest. We've got right angles at the hips, right angles at the knees. Send the upper leg away in line in the spine, and then we're going to do front and back. We're going to kick forward, and then we're going to sweep the pointed foot back. So I've got dorsiflexion as I come forward, and then I've got pointed foot to take me back. We're breathing in to bring it forward, breathing out to sweep it back. And one more. And then we're going to go into lift and lower. We're going to lift and lower. Again, it's in line with my spine, starting at hip height and then lifting. The foot's parallel to the floor. There's no rotation in the hip joint. And you're really working this gluteus medius. Last one. And then you point your foot and we're going to draw circles. So 6 circles in one direction. And you can just breathe through that naturally. And then 6 circles in the other direction. Five and 6. And hopefully we've just got enough time to do the other side. You don't want to leave the other side out. So come over to your other side, get into your pencil shape. I always have a cushion between my arm and my head. Then we're going to bring your legs into right angles at the hips, right angles at the knees. Send that upper leg away, in line with the spine, hip height. And you're going to kick forward and then sweep the leg back. Breathing in to bring it forward, breathing out to take it back. So I'm imagining like there is this pin here and I'm just trying to oscillate my leg around that pin, and I'm trying not to affect my back at all. Last one, and then we're going to go into lift and lower. So foot parallel to the floor, lift and lower from hip height and above. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Last one, and then we're going to point our foot and we're going to do circles. So this video again is just about trying to give you exercises that are going to help your hip so you can do more reps that I'm doing. Let's reverse the circle. find the exercise that's most difficult for you and practice that one, because it shows that you've probably got a bit of a weakness there. And this is your last one. And you're all done. Well done.